The following announcement is paid for by the Wrestling with Nerds.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Hey there, the name's Nukem, Duke Nukem, and you're watching the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. For some unknown reason, enjoy.
This honky tonk man, greatest intercontinental champion of all time, and you're watching Wrestling with Nerds podcast. Yes, that's my favorite. Shake, rattle, and roll.
What's going on, wrestling nerds? Welcome to a week late edition of the Wrestling podcast. A lot's been going on our end, so we were still hungover, or at least I was still from Mania. So, hi guys, DJ, nice bell.
Hi. It's the Liberty Bell. You know, we went to Philadelphia.
Yeah, and you're the only idiot. And you're the only idiot that wanted to see that stupid bell.
It was in the logo.
It's still
Logo.
That okay? Fine. I saw the Liberty Bell right there. I didn't need to go see the real thing.
Logo.
I wanted to see the real one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the thing, TJ. You want to tell him or should I?
What's that?
Not the real one.
Oh yeah.
It is.
The real one broke.
Well, there's two of them, AJ.
And I don't want to see either one of them sons of bitches.
Because you guys have no culture. Unless it's wrestling.
I have plenty of culture. You know what my culture was that day? Pat McAfee. You know what we relate to? Pat McAfee.
Did you really miss anything?
I mean,
Yeah, it's called a
good standing
guardrail spot, dickhead.
You'll get over it. I already did.
You didn't care. You went to go sit on a chair. And
Yeah,
yell at your,
next thing we
airline.
know, you went and set one of those back there. Like all the way back there.
Because I didn't give a shit about McAfee.
It wasn't the idea. Well, Pat McAfee's great. I don't know.
Well, no,
why
Pat's
you say
amazing. But, like, I just didn't care about being at the McAfee show. When, you know, I didn't have a flight home.
Yeah. Big boy problems.
But that Liberty Bell.
You know what would have solved the problem of you not having a flight home?
Drove?
If you drove down after your first flight got canceled, numbnuts.
Yeah, but then who would have paid for parking?
You would have parked at the hotel for free.
You think I wouldn't have fucking gone to the goddamn Liberty Bell on my own?
Then
Well,
you would have paid for parking.
No shit, Sherlock. I'm talking the other nights. Lord knows we wouldn't have had fucking Baldy drive the whole time.
No, I would have drove the whole time.
No.
I 100% would have drove the whole time.
Well, you might have.
I wanted to show you guys where the Philadelphia Eagles practice facility was at, and I wasn't allowed to drive AJ's car. Do you think anybody else was driving?
We still could have
Again, if I drove, I would have let you drive my car, because I wouldn't have gave a shit.
I would have just been in the back, like.
Anyhow, it was fun, because then when on Monday when I left early, I drove up beside you too and flicked you off, and you didn't see me.
Well, we did, but like.
Oh, on the way to the venue?
Yeah, on the way to Raw.
We knew what you were doing with your tinted windows.
So yeah, I would agree with AJ in the fact that the hangover or the buzz from Mania.
Cat. Hi, cat. Your cat was.
Oh,
you got photobombed.
Hobbs was here. Hobbs. You have a green screen, moron. I don't.
You need another one so you have Hobbs and Shaw.
No, I don't need another. Do you see the size of that cat? It is the size of 2 cats.
You need one that's the final boss.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Jesus fucking Christ, I hate you.
It's gonna be a new soundboard. The final boss.
Guys, you want to see TJ disappear? Watch this.
Deuces, oozes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's fully worn off yet.
Dude,
But
I'm
it
still
was
seeing TikToks.
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I've been hitting the live react TikToks this week. It's been fucking epic.
The minute that gong hit,
I've hit our truths live like 4 times, and each time I just put motherfucker and then I bail.
Sam Roberts said,
Bri, you know the people I watched on TikTok.
Oh, I got a what is it, top fan badge on Facebook. I got one for Sam Roberts for interacting with him from our show, from being at our show and video, and so that was pretty cool.
dude, the whole weekend, I knew there was gonna be a lot of wrestling shit, obviously, a lot of WWE shit, but they went all fucking out at the.
Well, I mean, there could have been more. I mean, I realized after watching a bunch of videos that, like, I don't know where we like missed a shitload of content creators. Like, I realized that there's so many of that I follow that were creating content
One
there.
of the TikTok dudes was literally 5 or 6 people in front of you waiting at an ATM.
Oh, we don't talk about him. He's a dick. I know who you're talking about. I almost walked up to him and called him a fucking piece of shit to his face.
Which one?
I know who we're talking about. He goes by Heel Josh. He's a douche. He likes preying on young girls. He's a dick. Yeah, he's an ass. He's not. He's not one that I follow. I followed him at first, and then when all that came out, it was like, yeah, you're trash.
I like
not gonna lie. I wish I hadn't been.
No, not Heel Kevin. I follow Heel Kevin. I love Heel Kevin. Heel Kevin is fantastic. Mr. Tesh.
Yes, he's the one. He like died, by the way. He literally like died when Taker came out.
Tesh is. I've been in lives with Tesh, not like in the lives, but commenting in lives. I'm a big fan of Tesh.
Zap.
Anti-Zap.
Yeah, I think he's cool. But
Santi is his name. Santi.
A lot of them
yeah, Santi and Tesh
come down.
Santi and Tesh are do a show together. It's called Straight Shooting. They're friends. They're both from Canada. The other ones that I follow are Off the Top. We have Scales. There's Scales, I think is his last name. Matt, I think he's in our Wrestling Over Everything page group. He's got a whole group of them. Off the Top. They're a pretty good group of guys. I didn't get to see if any of them were at Mania or not, but did you ever follow Lumberland, the ones that made the baseball bat beer mugs on TikTok?
Yeah. I actually got them for my groomsmen for my wedding.
Yeah, the two of them went on to do their own wrestling podcast. Evidently, they were doing live content there. I never even saw them, but they were over on the left side, like over where the auction table and stuff was at, and we didn't really go over to the kids section and the video game section a lot when we were at World.
I wish I hadn't have been late because I would have probably done the entrance thing had I not, had to wait like in a huge line.
Late too.
Yeah, we wish you weren't late too.
Thursday was motherfucking nature.
It was interesting because like Thursday when we got to World, it was bare bones. Like me and AJ had free range to do everything.
I wish I had been that way. Friday.
Even some of the stuff that was set up wasn't even like fully set up yet. Like remember the WWF Women's Championship
wasn't even there.
Wasn't even there for Bull Nakano until like Thursday or Friday. Or on Friday, I'm sorry, because we went there on Thursday and it wasn't even there.
Brian and myself literally could have done everything or wanted to Thursday and be happy about it. And once Friday, Saturday, Sunday hit, everybody, and I mean
even Monday, it was still packed.
Monday was severely less. So,
Yeah, way less.
Well, yeah, obviously, because people went home, but it was still packed.
but Saturday and Sunday, Jesus effing
it's
Christ. Because we're
it's
trying
a
to
cool
swear less, I had to cut it down.
it's a cool concept though. If you think of the world, I mean, I've always grew up wanting to go to Access. That's what this is.
I
It's
thought
now called the World.
I kind of wish the world would have had like a legit Hall of Fame area, like all the
Well,
statues that they've.
that was kind of like the only letdown I thought for the whole thing was there wasn't enough like well no like there's this show Most Wanted, this whole thing where they're going for this treasure trove of things for of like collectors and stuff, and there's literally hardly any of it there. I mean,
Did you guys go
that would
through
have
the Attitude Era thing?
Yes,
yeah I mean, but everything we went through, it didn't take you long to get through it.
I thought it was.
I kind of wish it was a little bit like more in depth on things and had some more stuff in it.
That's
The
just
Bray Wyatt thing was cool, but I kind of figured we were gonna get that kind of thing just because he's not here anymore, and
They
that's
added to it
yeah.
over the course of the weekend. They added a few like other things, a couple of the suits for the
I thought they were
Well,
done
documentary.
there.
that's because no, they revealed what Bray Wyatt's final Fiend character was
Oh.
going to look like. They did that on I think Friday while we were at SmackDown, or right towards the end of Friday or Saturday. They revealed that Predator. I call it a Predator Fiend character.
Yeah, if you hadn't watched the documentary.
Yeah, they revealed those outfits and put them there for everybody for Sunday and Monday.
What was everybody's favorite part about the world?
I mean, the tattoo was cool.
You want to show it again?
Uh,
So dope. It's so. For me, it was kind of walking around all the vintage ships and having Ryan next. What is this? Why does this look so old? Is old fuck.
yeah, I wish there was more of that. Like, I wish there was more to that part. The definitely was interesting to see how the older belts patinaed, and got wear on them and were no longer gold.
So one thing I realized this trip, which I realized it trip. I kind of knew about it beforehand, but I didn't see it in action. I hate the Velcro. I hate the Velcro.
But you see where it was used in the early '80s on like the old Intercontinental title and how shitty the stitching job was on
Yeah,
it was kind of interesting
I miss I like the belts that they sell for us to get that they snap. I don't
with the
want
snaps.
I don't want to hear, huh? What'd you say?
With the snaps,
Yeah, with the
yeah,
cuz Cody when he was at the O2 Center was like, "Oh, AJ Styles, congratulations. Now you get to face me." You hear him go
yeah,
and then
yeah,
hold it up and I'm like, it's not the same to hear pop 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 pop.
yeah. But I mean, UFC uses the Velcro. WWE used boxing's always kind of used the Velcro for years.
I don't know.
Um,
It's just something that I knew they did, and then it fully hit me when I saw all championships. Like
it would be better if they could incorporate it where you couldn't notice it.
they try to hide it with actually having like on the outside the fake rivets.
Yes. Um, I mean, after WrestleMania, I mean, Raw, I think for both all three of us was a huge letdown.
I could have went. I could have went home
Outside
and
of
been
the
okay
first
with it.
45 minutes, we could have missed it.
Even then, I wouldn't even say the first 45. I mean, up until pretty much up until the final boss makes his appearance.
This
Yeah. Do you realize where that got played from, right? I think you've seen the videos now where why that happened the way it happened.
No.
When Rock beat Punk for the WWE title years ago at Rumble, and The Rock revealed that the new WWE title when they moved away from the spinner, it was Cody that came out and asked Rock if he could hold his championship. That's where that whole thing comes from.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. Now I want to watch that.
That's
Yeah, if you
so
go
weird.
back and watch, it's the Raw right after. Was it the he beat Punk at the Royal Rumble. If you go back and watch the Raw, I think it's the Raw.
We're not.
Yeah,
You don't take it from him.
he comes back out and he comes out and he asks if he can hold his championship. That's where that came from.
Still
I
weird.
like the
Weird
I like
ending.
that we could see the whole Liv Rhea thing play out. I thought that was cool.
Do we think she actually got hurt in the attack, or do you think it was something that happened in the match on Sunday?
No, she got hurt when the strike against the wall, the shoulder shot when she throws her up against the left wall before she throws the chair at her. That's where she hurt her shoulder, and it's an AC joint injury. I mean, that could be anywhere from 3 to 6 months, depending on
Hell,
the
Dom's
injury it
hurt
actually
now.
is. Oh yeah, Dom had to get Tommy John surgery
It
basically.
was debunked.
Oh,
Dave
was it?
Meltzer actually got something wrong. He is hurt, but it
Well,
does not require surgery.
he got it wrong. Dave Meltzer actually got something wrong. He gets a lot of shit wrong. Fuck Dave Meltzer.
Well, he
Sorry,
also
no cussing
plays
on
like
this
the
show.
middle, like a meteorologist would. Like, I'm
No.
hearing this. This is
Yeah,
what
what he does is he puts out an article that way, and if you read the article, whichever way it goes, he has an out. That's what Dave Meltzer likes to do. He'll make speculations, and then when it happens a different way, he'll be like, "They saw that I reported it this way, so they changed it after
Yeah,
this."
because Dom even came out and goes, "What the fuck you talking about? I don't need freaking Tommy John surgery."
But he also, but if you haven't, I mean, I know we're a week late, but have you heard that the greatest wrestling match in history happened
Oh,
after WrestleMania?
if I was gonna say, I give Meltzer's reporting a 6.5 out of
I
5
mean,
stars.
yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the show. We didn't watch the show because
We were
I
asleep.
didn't want to, and I didn't feel good. Um, but yeah, Meltzer gave Osprey and Daniel Bryan, or I'm sorry, Bryan Danielson what was the final
Six and
score?
a half stars out of 5.
6.5 stars. You know, if that was in the Tokyo Dome, it would have been like 10 stars.
And do you know if that
And
same
it,
exact match would happen in WWE? It'd be 2 stars.
oh well, one he would give it less stars because if it was in WWE, Daniel Bryan would have went over the way it should have happened. Yeah, I don't know. From what I saw, I mean, I've seen highlights of it. I have not seen the match because I'm not paying $50 to see this match.
Tony Khan, I hope your neck
Sorry.
feels better soon.
By the way,
What?
we're gonna let's just go ahead and touch on base on that. Great sell job, bad interpretation. You wear the neck brace. You wear a hard neck brace earlier in the day, and then at nighttime you put a soft collar on and turn your head. And then you get on NFL Network and consider yourself the Pepsi of wrestling.
Me, don't worry.
The Pepsi of wrestling,
Oh.
and then you compare WWE as the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling. Are you fucking kidding me, kid? The cocaine in Jacksonville must be fucking great.
They're more
Sorry
like
for
the
the
RC
language.
Cola of
Is that
wrestling.
Is that why everybody was
No offense
saying
to RC
Tony
Cola.
gave it to Hunter? Is that why everybody was saying that?
What was that?
There was jackasses online saying Tony really handed Hunter an L there.
I guess I don't, but they also, from what I saw from their pay-per-view post scrum that they still do, which is laughable. The once wonderful Tony Storm, she's kind of really fallen off my list here of late. Made a comment towards Tony Khan that no matter how many times she wins a championship, she will never call him out after she wins, like Cody did for Hunter and Bruce. Again, you keep taking shots at the WWE, and guess what? The only people that care that you keep taking shots at the WWE are your marks and your owner. Because guess what? Nobody in the WWE realm fucking cares.
And I thought she actually had a decent time in.
Uh, I don't know. But sorry, but you lose brownie points with me when you make stupid remarks like that. Just do your job.
That's like when Edge took his shots. I'm like, are you fucking?
Just do your job. Just go out and put on the best wrestling match stories you can do.
Oh,
Don't-
sorry, Adam
don't-
Copeland.
Don't
Sorry.
air a backstage real fight between super professional wrestlers from months ago and literally have your own broadcast team shaking their head going, what are we doing?
Yeah, you just stop. I don't know what it would take. Does it, as big as a Mark fan Tony Khan is, what in his right mind, who in their right mind needs to step up to him, excuse me, step up to him and tell him, Tony, knock the shit off. Focus on what the you guys are doing. Because you're not.
The censoring.
You're so more worried about what the WWE thinks of you and oh well WWE did this, watch us do this. Nobody cares.
Do you think them doing that is the equivalent of granted Tony Schiavone?
Yes, it's equivalent to Eric Bischoff giving the results at the beginning of Nitro.
Of
100%.
Mick Foley.
Yeah, I mean they did it for weeks. It's the same thing. Just do your stuff. Go a month, go 2 months without mentioning the WWE.
Hey, how often
You can tell you can tell how paranoid everybody in AEW is because Triple H mentioned no names on McAfee's show when he talked about if you didn't want to do the grind, then I don't want you. And the greatest wrestler in the world, Will Ospreay, jumps out on the commentary with Renee and uses a 20-year-old joke.
The guy who was shacking up with the boss's daughter.
Come up with new content, my guy. I know England's a little farther behind.
This week?
Oh, he said that I'm too high. I'm not gonna lower myself to talk about that stuff anymore. Because you've already done it. You can't go lower than what you did.
Like
put it I wish somebody cut this and send this to Will Ospreay. I know I'm a nobody. I'm just a wrestling guy
for now.
Watched it and for enough. But I want you to do this for me. Put a whole story together. Not just a gymnastics wrestling match. Put a whole story together that makes sense for television once. Try that for a change. Instead of just going out and having 6-star single wrestling matches, put a story together. Because you can't. You've not been able to put a story together since you started wrestling. The only thing you're good at doing is your pre-routine gymnastic wrestling matches. You've never had yourself an hour-long Broadway where you've actually wrestled. Why? Because you guys don't know how to sell. You guys don't know how to sell shit. I'm so tired of forearm shot, or somebody hits a big move and somebody kips right back up and hits somebody. I hate that. That is the worst thing you can do in wrestling.
The flippy do dash.
I hate that. And from the highlights that I saw of the greatest wrestling match of all time, Will Ospreay did that at least 4 to 5 times, where he was getting his ass beat. Daniel Bryan would hit him with a move that should put him out on the mat for a couple of minutes, build anticipation for something. And what does he do? He pops right back up, hits Daniel Bryan with another move, and down they both go. That is stupid. That is crappy booking of a wrestling match.
And they eat it up.
And whoever the agent is psychology-wise for this sucks. And the greatest psychologist in professional wrestling is in your locker room, and you suck at it. Jake the Snake Roberts is one of the best psychology wrestlers there is, and nobody will listen to it because they all know too much. They all are way better than him, and they think they know it. That does not work. All that does is get a cheap pop for 30 seconds and then they're right back at it. I hate that kind of wrestling. I want a match like we saw at WrestleMania. You give me Cody and Roman, I don't even need the all of the people coming out. Everybody
That was
knew
just
they were going to come.
bonus. That was all just bonus. That was so amazing. The match was great up to that point.
Yeah, everybody knows that all of these people are going to show up. It's the payoff of the biggest story in the wrestling in the last 10 years. But give me a story where they literally beat the hell out of each other and can't even afford to get up for a couple of minutes. Build the anticipation of the build of.
I forgot who said it and who what the match was, but I remember hearing, "Lay here, kid, lay here."
Yeah,
Don't tell you when
just
to
lay
get up.
here. Exactly. Build the anticipation to get up. If you can have in the palm of your hand 70,000 people anticipating you two getting to your feet.
Ryan, we're talking about AEW here.
I know, I'm talking about
70,000's a
WrestleMania
little-
at the moment.
Oh.
I'm at Mania now. But you take 70,000 people and you have them in the palm of your hand, building off of the anticipation of just you two getting to your feet is way more powerful than your 400 or 4,000 people for AEW at max, maybe, where you just pop right back up and hit somebody. It doesn't work. It's bogus. It takes all the believability out of professional wrestling.
Well,
people bitch when it's too fake because this, and this happened. But yeah, we have the ghost and the ghoul, the goblin, and everything else over here. But the superstitious stuff's fine. But that looked real, but it looked fake. So we can't have that. But I wish it was more real. But then it's make up your fucking mind.
I think for me, the biggest thing I've noticed between the two companies, AEW can't put a story together for 6 months. 6 months. We have a hard time stringing a story together. What was the second to last thing that happened in the Roman Cody match? Do you remember? Seth Rollins gets hit in the back with a steel chair. What is that? 8-year-old story at this point?
it hitting.
It
Roman
is.
hits
Roman
Seth in the back.
hits in the back with the chair.
Plan B. How long ago was Plan B?
Yeah.
I mean, it was before the heist of the century.
10 years ago.
You're looking at 12 years ago.
That's the story being told here.
Or 11 years ago.
That's the story being told in WWE. This is how big this moment was, how big this payoff was. They were closing the door on an era. They were closing the door on an era, and people were witnessing it, and people bitch about it. I don't get it. That was granted, obviously we've had this conversation prior to all this. I haven't been to a wrestling show in a long time. That was probably the spoiledest I'll ever be, because nothing will ever top that. I don't think I could go to another live show and have what happened, because that was just, I'm still feeling the awe, the noise of that gong. I've literally dreamt about it because I've heard in my lifetime, there has been 3 noises I can remember that have stuck in my brain. The first time I heard a NASCAR Cup car at Daytona go by. The first time I ever heard the field go by at Daytona on the backstretch. The second noise was the noise at Giants Stadium when they scored an opening, literally a first play touchdown, that the entire place stood up. The third noise is that gong and the noise that crowd made that night, because that was insanity. Everybody knew somebody was coming, but not Taker. Nobody had that one pegged. And it was like the entire Lincoln Financial consensus, like, we all melted.
I would have loved to have been broke down on 95 right outside the arena when that happened, just to be able to hear
Holy
what it
shit,
sounded
that
like.
really is a fat cat.
on the other side. I mean, because like for us, it was loud, but on TV, it didn't sound as loud
It
because,
was
like
pretty
AJ
loud.
said, I mean, it was loud, but we know the ominous of a stadium. The noise goes up, it goes nowhere. But it would have been really cool to be the guy on the outside of the stadium and hear that roar.
I shit you not. If Lincoln Financial was a domed stadium, we would have been deaf until the next.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I've experienced it inside our big arenas that same way. I agree with you. The noises are way better, but it was still
Madison
pretty
Square
cool.
Garden, still fucking fantastic.
Um, I don't like. I don't know if you guys saw the news about WWE possibly moving WrestleManias to May. Have you seen this?
You don't like it?
I
can,
don't.
I can care less.
Later in April, maybe at least.
The biggest thing is they don't want to. They don't want to overlap the Final Four, from what I'm told, or from what I've read. And the Final Four weekend.
The Final Four done the last week of March.
No,
Is April?
it's the beginning of April.
Not to mention, it's hard too with Easter. Like they got to play. I would think that would.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, I see why they're doing it because that way they can go to nicer weathered places
Let's see.
in May. They're not worried about, you're not worried about cold weather in May. April, you're still kind of frigid on your northeast areas.
I wouldn't mind seeing another one at MetLife.
I mean, look at what
Night
the
one,
weather
man.
did for night
MetLife
one in Philly
funny.
was cold. But we shall see, because also I've seen reports where Nick Khan has sold all of it, or has put all of his shares up for sale.
I heard Vince sold all his shares, all of his TKO shares.
Vince is completely out of the WWE now.
I also saw a comment on that said, "How absolutely insane would it be if he took all that money and bought AEW?"
I've heard that there's rumors that
buy that company just to fire you again.
He has a 1 year no compete thing, and there's talks that he might create some kind of wrestling thing after that. I doubt it.
I hope not.
He's like 78 years old. We're not talking about his.
Enjoy your grandkids, man.
We're not talking about the whole legal thing, but that got interesting this week. If you haven't caught up on that, I highly suggest you catch up on that.
Attorneys went after her.
I kind of figured that was going to happen.
Well, yeah, because she shot a freaking warning shot across their bow, and of course they were going to read.
Yeah, remember, you don't throw stones at a machine gun. Oh, sorry, that was Osprey.
But no, Brian, since we came back from Philly, I've been doing a lot of the wrestling podcasting stuff, and you're gonna hate me for this. I've been listening to Busted Open.
I don't mind him anymore. I mean, we took a picture. Me and you took a picture with LaGreca.
Yeah, I like Dave's brother better than.
He's kind of a dick. I mean, even when he was talking to us, he was a dick.
Yeah, he was. Like, oh, you want a picture with? Fuck you.
Yeah.
But they literally, this was obviously Dave. I think it was Mark Henry and Tommy Dreamer. All three of them said if AEW just wants to be the 6-star matches with no story, just do that. Just be an indie show, but be an indie show that puts on great matches. Fuck the stories. And they were like, yeah, they should definitely do that if that's the case. I'm like, are you shitting me? Wrestling is about the story.
To most, it's the stories, but there's others that just like the wrestling part. I'm not one that just likes the wrestling part. I don't like matches for matches' sake. Matches have to mean something, and for matches to mean something, there has to be a story. Do you know what
Tommy
the best
that said it? That's what pissed me off the most.
Well, I mean, he comes from ECW where there was really no stories, so he's from that part. I mean, the only real story in ECW was always that Raven always beat Dreamer, and there was some kind of camp relationship between them as kids. It's weird shit. And then Bubba Ray and Devon and their 12 brothers, all from Big Daddy Dudley. And where was I going with that? Oh, the only story, like legitimate story that I see from AEW that they're doing, and it's really not a great one, is the whole Jericho Hook angle where Jericho just beat Hook for the FTW championship, which, in case you're wondering, means fuck the world. Evidently now it's for the world championship. So it's for the world championship. That makes sense. Um, I mean, I love that Adam Cole's back. I see that Cole's back, but then he like deadpan stares at the back of Warlow's head like he's mad at him. Like everybody and their mother, when they put this group together, everybody was like, first person they're turning on is Warlow. So why why book it that way? If that's what you're doing, if you're gonna flip it on us, great. Give us a swerve. As much as I can't stand him, give me a swerve, bro. And not Swerve Strickland, not Swerve Strickland, but a swerve, bro.
Congratulations on being the new AEW
Yeah, I mean,
World
Swerve
Championship.
deserves it. I'd give Swerve the champion, but here's my question: one, what's next? Two, there's a guy sitting on the sidelines that's been sitting on the sidelines. That when he comes back, you're going to get a huge, giant explosion of a pop, and then the crowd will go mild. Because what are you going to do with him?
Going to take the championship right off of Swerve?
What are you going to
transitional champion to MJF?
No, because the smart move, if you're going to plan it the way that it should be planned by anybody that's a quote unquote wrestling fan that's not named Tony Khan, you make it simple. If Adam Cole's back and Adam Cole's clear, then you have Adam Cole versus Swerve for the AEW title. You have that feud go all summer long. Whatever your July TV pay-per-view, or if you actually have a pay-per-view, or even in Berlin or I'm sorry, Wembley, if that's the case, you have Cole versus Swerve for the AEW title. You have Cole beat Swerve at Wembley.
That's August.
Remember, they have two pay-per-views a week apart. That's how stupid they are. They do Wembley on like the last weekend of August.
All in and all out.
Yeah, they do all that. See, how much sense does that make? Wouldn't you do all in January and then do all out in December?
You mentioned
or like October
to have two pay-per-views a week apart. Didn't WWE do one in Saudi 1 week and they had another pay-per-view?
Well, that's a special show. That's a little different. Like,
don't they still consider it a PLE?
I don't recall them doing a week, 1 week to the next week. So you have to refresh my memory on that one. Now, maybe a gap or a 2-week gap. That's typical. I mean, literally, they're in France this week, and then what is it? In 2 or 3 weeks, they're in Saudi Arabia for the King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view show thing. But anyhow, back to what I was saying. So you take Cole and Swerve at Wembley. Cole goes over. Pay-per-view ends with Cole in the ring with Undisputed Kingdom, and MJF's music hits. You go to Rampage, MJF challenges Cole. You turn around, you have Cole MJF at All Out.
Now, is Wardlow been turned on at this point, or somebody?
I think it's kind of like the Batista. If it was me booking it, and I mean, you guys know that I'm pretty good at that part. I don't turn on Wardlow. I let Wardlow turn on me. So you kind of do the whole Batista evolution angle. Kind of remember that, where they kind of like you go do this, keep edging you to do this, and then basically make it that Warlow turns on them and teams back up with MJF, or he goes on his own, which he needs to be on his own. I kind of hate that the biggest man in your roster is also only the same size as Triple H and always in a group. So
So 2 week difference. My
yeah,
bad.
2 weeks is different. Two weeks is different, but 1 week is ridiculous.
I was like, I remember it being relatively close.
Yeah, which was it?
I'm going back to it. Going back to find. Just
Anyhow,
continue.
so we'll get back to that, but since we moved on, we missed a week. A new era, the Triple H Paul Levesque era.
It was Crown Jewel and then Survivor Series November 5th, November 20th.
Yeah, so 3 weeks.
What screws me up is the NXT stuff that they added. I wouldn't consider them PLEs, would you?
Well, but they're their own like thing.
They have if it's a takeover, it's a pay-per-view.
It was Halloween Havoc. Network exclusive. October 22nd to November 5th was correct.
So yeah, NXT doesn't really. I don't really count them as.
I think that's
like
what screwed me up.
It's like Ring of Honor with AEW right now. It's
holy shit, Ember
sort of.
Moon 500 days at Women's Championship, even though she barely finished. Hey, congratulations.
All right, moving on to something more important.
I am sharing my screen so you guys can all the.
We are in the Triple H era now.
Thank you, Honor.
It's gonna get more and more interesting as we go along. I feel like, we know from WrestleMania they split the tag titles. We got new tag titles. I love both versions of the new tag titles.
SmackDown won that though.
Yeah, SmackDown.
SmackDown definitely wins on design because they throw it back to the original golden era WWF tag team titles, which I enjoy. I don't mind Awesome Truth set. I don't mind. It's kind of like a mixture of everything.
I don't hate it. It's just definitely SmackDowns were better looking. I'm glad they're not the same.
AJ has a thing. AJ's has a thing with championship belts shouldn't look like Captain America's shield, evidently. Like they can't be a perfect circle. I mean, God forbid they look like a perfect circle. Where I was getting at. The thing about the Raw titles that I like that they didn't do to the SmackDown titles is the stacked logos. If you look at it, it's 3 stacks. No, just the centerpiece. There's a thing behind the WWE logo on the Raw titles that make it look 3 levels, whereas the SmackDown ones don't. The one thing about the SmackDown belts that I don't like, that I think I'll get used to though, is the crown at the top. Because that's usually where like the little WWE logo goes, but they have the big WWE logo in the middle.
I figured the crown
so that
was always on like world titles.
But they're the WWE titles.
But like you just said, you don't like the crown being.
I don't. The crown sticks out too much. It's not hidden as much.
Mine's not moving.
Guru, come back.
We gotta fill time, TJ. What do you think of
It's not that hard. I like them. Like I said, I haven't clearly you two have magnifying glass these things more than I have.
There you go. You're good now.
You're back. You two seem like you've gone over them with a fine-tooth comb. I've just seen what I've seen. I like them.
Okay.
Is anybody, TJ, did you see Ryan translating do English like it's a Japanese show. Like he was.
A little bit, a wee bit.
Yes.
It appeared as though he was Akira Tozawa.
I think he might be good now.
Oh,
Yes. Can
Okay.
you hear me?
Yep. Yes, actually said yes at the exact same time as you said yes.
No.
It's
Um,
Godzilla.
but we have gone a long way into this, further than I think any of us had meant to.
Yeah, it's about a 45 minute.
That's
So-
fine.
we'll quickly jump on. We had the first half of the draft. Oh, wait a minute. We did have. Wait a minute. We did have. Montreal had Raw. Let's talk about Sammy and Chad Gable.
Chad Gable, bad guy. Sammy, good guy.
And
Uh,
TJ, what did
Sammy's-
you think of the entrance to Sammy's?
Listen, it
match?
was cool. It was cool. Jay escapes from the clutches of the Judgment Day, and as he's going out like a door to the Bell Center, he finds a Sami Zayn standing there. And if you watched, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, go back. That's what Jay asked him. If you haven't seen it, it's just really cool how they do the whole production of like one segment ending. I mean, the camera pans this whole time. Like they don't break
they're
a camera
called
here.
one shots. Or
What I'm saying, but like it goes out, and then you get to Sammy, and Sammy has this whole little heartfelt moment in Bell Center. Did you watch it?
Kind of heartfelt.
25 years ago, I came here and watched my first show. 25 years later, I'm the champion, and I'm gonna go in the same way I went then through the front door. And then hype, the hype that did you live a little, AJ?
Mr. Transitional Champion.
Maybe not. You want to talk about interim champions? That's the man. Anyway, yeah, it was just a really cool moment how they did it. Sammy ends up in the crowd, and it's the Bell Center's rocking, and it's just fun to watch. That is
I broke
that to
Ryan.
me is the part of wrestling I like, is that kind of thing, the fan interaction part of it. I mean, how much fun were we having on SmackDown before Mania when freaking A-Town Down Under went chasing after Randy and KO through the crowd that a row away from us? I know we were all like, whoa, where are they going?
Dude, the wrong row. We're over here.
But
the most important part of that match was we finally get Kurt Gable. We're getting this Kurt Angle, Chad Gable character, which I think everybody wanted.
You see a fan made video using him like working out and
oh, that would be cool. I did not see that.
I'll find it and send it. It's freaking
I love Chad Gable. I wish he was about 4 inches taller though. It's gonna get interesting because the rumors going around was this Alpha Academy is supposed to go away and him and the Creed brothers are supposed to be together. I love it. If that's the case, if that's the way they're gonna go with it, great. I love it.
they did get drafted, all of them.
Alpha Academy did, yes. We did have the draft Monday night, which we're going to touch on now because we just talked about Sammy being a transitional champion. I didn't like the draft so far. They better turn my head on Monday because they didn't do anything outrageous on night one.
I love Cody.
Who was the NXT lady that got drafted?
I was going to get there. Round one, we had I think everybody kind of figured these were 4 that were going to get, or at least 3 of the 4 that were going to go early.
Ryan, you remember my
Bianca-
reaction to the first pick?
Yes, I muted you. Bianca goes 1. I don't really know how we go from Roman Reigns for 3 years to Bianca, but we went there. Jey Uso,
Making vomiting
Carmella
noises.
to SmackDown makes sense. I had a feeling we all kind of knew he was going to get drafted, but him going to SmackDown makes more sense than him going to Raw. I just think he works better with some of the talent that's on SmackDown. And then Seth Rollins to Raw, kind of figured that was going to happen. Becky's secured. She's not leaving Raw. Seth's going to go to Raw. Don't know how long he's going to be out, but kind of figured that. Round 2, this is the one. This is the one guy that got drafted that I wanted to switch and didn't switch. Randy gets drafted to SmackDown. I wish Randy would have got drafted to Raw
Why?
because I would like the matchups more of him and Drew and him and Seth and him
Okay.
and Damian. I get him staying in SmackDown. Now you can have Cody and Seth. There's Cody and Randy at some point. Cody and Cody, yeah, Randy and Kevin Owens being together works unless KO gets drafted on Monday. Braun
Either way, he's
Breaker
gonna
got
get drafted.
Braun Breaker got drafted to Raw. I love this. This was should have been the call when they signed the contract.
I think it's just like them fixing it right now. He was
I
only
hope so.
he was only a SmackDown superstar for what?
Something. But I mean, you talked about Sammy being a traditional or transitional champion. All signs point to being the transitional champion to that guy. Braun Breaker is a monster. We've seen him in person now. He's a monster.
I mean, he killed Cedric Alexander.
He moved in the fucking ring.
The only people I've ever known to move the ring are like the natural disasters. And for him to hit the ropes hard enough to reset the ring twice, that was impressive.
I
I mean,
does
I've watched the ring like explode / implode, and Brock move it with a fucking tractor. Braun did it just by running the ropes.
Braun Strowman, Big Show, Brock Lesnar with a tractor.
Brock Lesnar and Mark Henry as well.
Where's Brock Lesnar with?
Nia going to SmackDown makes sense to me. Nia needed to get out of Raw because the top of Raw was getting too stacked with people. Yeah, it was definitely getting crowded. And I think if the plan is for Liv to be the champion before Rhea comes back, they needed to do away with Nia because Nia matching up against Liv doesn't work. Yeah, it make Raw a smaller women roster. Sorry, I didn't mean that in any derogatory way, but no monsters on Raw, if that makes more sense. She shows up on SmackDown and takes out Bayley instantly. Love it. I was kind of hoping that they were gonna make that match for Backlash a fatal 4-way, but now it's just made into a triple threat. Tiffy, Naomi, and Bayley. I think I made mention of this when we were watching SmackDown that I feel like they're gonna put Nia and Tiffany together on TV because it's kind of funny because they've been traveling together. So
I mean, they're all
kind of
making
works.
TikToks together.
Yes, Mr. Kayfabe, we know. We heard you've complained about it now 3 times that they've done these TikToks together. I understand right before a battle royal and 6 of them are doing a TikTok together.
That's what bothered me. I feel like I was kind of rightfully not aggravated, but like, what the fuck?
It's still real to me, damn it.
It feels real again.
And then Live the Raw. I think we all kind of expected that to go. I think the one thing that they don't make clear, like they browsed over it, is the fact that each night has a different draft pool. I think that makes it kind of shitty, in my opinion.
Because I wish it didn't, and we still get the same draft we got Friday. I kind of wish X, but you could have chosen any. And then you have the Judgment Day go up to Adam Pearce or Nick Aldis. Why weren't we one of the first 12? What the fuck?
Yeah.
This Adam Pearce. This Nick Aldis.
I said round 2 that with Randy was the one that I didn't want to change. I wanted to change more. And then I forgot round 3. Right off the top. LA Knight back to SmackDown. Unless the plan is for him to take the U.S. title off of Logan Paul, I don't know why he's not on Raw. I think the matchups on SmackDown have kind of become stale.
In a way, people really did.
No, they really didn't.
They didn't. The only 3 changes are Braun, Nia, and the very last pick of the draft.
And Carmelo's
Ricochet.
call up.
Yeah, Carmelo's call up.
And who the NXT
Ricochet.
girl? You haven't mentioned her. Who is she?
We'll
I'm
get
not
there.
in round 4 yet, bro.
Well, you're taking longer than the NFL draft, and both of them were a letdown for me this weekend.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Giants didn't take a quarterback in this draft either.
The Patriots apparently took 2 of them.
Ricochet back to Raw. I like that. Evidently, by the time this comes out, it won't have happened yet. But he's the new WWE Speed Champion. Makes sense
Okay
when
with
your
it.
name's Ricochet. The Bloodline.
Speaking of the bloodline, Roman Reigns has respectfully withdrawn from the draft. And I say respectively because give it probably not.
Still trying to figure out what an MFT is.
Evidently, it stands for my motherfucking Tonga.
What motherfucker was it?
But evidently, that's what MFT stands for. Because his last name is Tonga. Sheamus the Raw. He re-debuted last week on Raw, and they
Well, a
started
little
a story.
thick fella.
Cares.
They started a
the
story.
IWC.
They started a story with Sheamus and Drew that if you've not been following on social media, is fucking fantastic. Also, note there, Drew McIntyre has signed a new deal with the WWE.
He did today.
Signed a new multi-year deal, and The Rock rewarded him with a giant sword. I saw the video where he was at dinner with his wife, and the waiter came over with this giant sword and handed it to him.
Wait, the who presented it?
Eh.
Who gave it to him? Rock? The final boss!
Kick him out of the stream.
I can't. I'm gonna have to reorder everything.
Round 4, AJ stays on SmackDown. Kind of figured that was going to be the case. Alpha Academy all go to Raw. Still the same show. Andrade does move. I didn't think about that. Andrade does move from Raw to SmackDown so he can be with his wife when she returns. Also puts him in the mix of the LWO story now that Carlito has been revealed as the guy that beat up Dragon Lee. The final draft pick is Kiana James from NXT. If you guys remember, and I don't know if TJ could hear me, but when we were at NXT Stand and Deliver, I said that there was 2 girls in that 6-man tag that are ready for the main roster.
The Henley.
Fallon Henley and Kiana James. I love Kiana James. I think her ring work is really good. Her storyline of being a self-made woman is fantastic. I'm looking forward.
Herself, right? Not
Yeah.
her.
Izzy Wild's not coming with her. I'm looking forward to Kiana James on Raw. I really am. I was really, really ecstatic with that pick. I think I even popped when we were watching it.
So real quick.
I like that.
Real quick. 4 rounds just on SmackDown. There's more after. Cody had a match with Carmella. And
The match was great. The match was great. The ending was weird.
Because Carmella missed the spot. Well, that's the spot that I think Mello screwed up because Cody went for his cutter and Mello went off the other rope. And if you watch, Cody lands on his shoulder hard and wrong.
I thought he was hurt.
Well, yeah, as soon as he got up and he grabbed his shoulder, everybody panicked. But and then he kind of talks to Mello after he beats him. It was because I think Mello screwed that spot up. I don't think Mello.
Inexperience or butterflies.
Yeah, I think it's probably a little bit of both. I mean, these guys work together. Like TJ mentioned it when we watched SmackDown. Mello was one of the guys that worked out with Cody when he came back from his pec tear. So
he was the one that worked the match.
They have experience together. I just think it was more of probably Cody called that spot of the Cody cutter, and Mello's probably not used to the call. And Mello, it kind of missed to me, it almost looked like Cody made the call for Cody Cutter, and I don't know if he just said springboard. And I think Mello took it as he was supposed to springboard. Because if you look, they never even make eye contact. They go to separate
No, they
ropes
like
and springboard. Yeah,
The way they both hit the springboard at the time I watched it, I was like, huh?
it
Yeah.
could have been really cool.
Like, especially if Mello hits it
could have
just a
been-
tiny bit early, spins his body, they're both coming off the springboard and then hit the cutter.
that could have been the plan, but it could have also been really, really bad if Cody would land maybe an inch farther up than what he did, and his shoulder goes pop.
Or the two of them
then-
collide like
And then you have the WWE champion now that's out because of a shoulder injury off of a mistake, and that's
another
kind of what you don't want.
champion.
Well, I don't want Cody to get hurt. Number one, top of the board. Don't want the WWE champion to get hurt. Number two. Number three, then I don't want to have to listen to WWE.
Not gonna lie though, I don't want Cody to get hurt, but how much of a story would that have actually been if he had been hurt?
I don't want to think about that negativity.
I'm not like I'm not
get
I'm
that
not, like, not as
negativity
a
away from me,
negative
Bobby
thing.
Boucher.
Not as a negative thing, but think if Cody had actually got hurt right there. As far as the story goes, he
Oh,
finally wins this championship. His family's never held, and almost in an instant, it's taken away from him.
Don't
And then-
plague that devil woman on me, Devil Ricky Bobby.
And then Solo walks out and hands Carmelo a fat stack.
Anyhow, so yeah, the supplemental draft after SmackDown occurred. Isla Dawn or Alba Fire and Isla Dawn are both to Raw. Cedric Alexander, who got destroyed by Braun Breaker, and Ashante the Adonis are both staying on SmackDown, which after like Cedric got destroyed by Braun, he's probably glad he's not on the same show as him anymore. This was a surprise. I kind of knew he was going to get drafted, but I'm really glad he went to the opposite show. Baron Corbin has been drafted to SmackDown. I'm really glad they didn't draft him to Raw to even remotely inkling to put the Wolf Dogs back together. Let Braun be his own person now. So I'm really glad he's back on the main roster.
If you watch
I'm even more happier he's on SmackDown.
Michael Cole, we're sorry for this next one.
If you watched and saw how much Baron has, like, wise, outside ring work is great. Baron is really good in the ring. He had time to shine in NXT.
Yeah,
it was so nice.
The next one is unfortunately for Michael Cole, as we found out earlier this week, no more antlers. Congratulations to Sarah Rowe, and her husband
Baby
Eric.
number 2.
They're gonna have baby number 2.
Babies are getting the antlers for a while.
It's true. But Ivar is gonna stay on Raw. He's been very impressive to me. I always knew he was good. I've known him when they were the War Machine and he was named Hanson. He's a very good big wrestler, and I enjoy watching him. I think this week on NXT Spring Breaking, he challenges Obafemi for the North American title. I'm gonna watch because that's gonna be one hell of a match.
I fucking love
Meat.
The OC are still on SmackDown, so they're not going to NXT like people thought. The Good Brothers and Michin stay on SmackDown. I kind of hope Michin finally gets some kind of push.
Nice.
Whether if it's a push, if they decide to introduce secondary women titles, which has been rumored. We know we're getting the NXT Women's North American Championship coming up for NXT. There's been rumors that we might get a Women's Intercontinental and a Women's United States Championship by the middle of the year.
So you would like that? You don't think that's flooding the roster?
I think I'd like
titles?
1, not 2. I think I'd like 1, not
No,
2.
because you're going to get 2. You're going to get 1 for each show.
I understand it, but I think I'd like 1.
No. You're going to get 2. You're going to get a SmackDown and a U.S. Women's Championship. I think it's well deserved. The women's roster is humongous for them to only be 2 world champions and a set of tag titles that nobody cares about.
Speaking of tag,
except for
Women.
after Germany or after France and Jade Cargill is one half of the women's tag title champions. I could care less about her partner, but she's gonna have half the women's tag titles.
Speaking of women's tag team, I kind of wish this next one you're about to talk about it got split up.
Really? I like them
No,
together.
what are you nuts?
I want them. I think they can. Well, first of all, the first one I think should have already been a champion. I don't understand that one. And the other one has the charisma to be a champion right now.
Yeah,
And
but
that's
she
what I
can.
wanted.
Zoe can wait as far as what we're talking about. It's Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark both drafted to Raw. Um, Zoe has plenty of time to become WWE Women's World Champion. Shayna might have missed that boat, but Zoe and Shayna together, they should be facing the Kabuki Warriors at France, not Bianca and Jade. I
Oh, I
love the Shayna
1000%
Baszler.
agree with that.
I love the Shayna Baszler Zoe Stark tag team. Not to mention, if you haven't yet, and I know this is a cheap plug for them too, because I'm a big fan of Shayna Baszler, but go follow Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler on TikTok and tell them that Zoe Stark sent you to follow Shayna Baszler because them two together on TikTok are more entertaining than the whole six of them doing a dance thing together. Because it's funny because you'll get like that whole thing we saw where they were doing the seven of them rotating. That's one side of the TikTok. If you go follow Shayna, you see the other half of that TikTok because she's standing behind them with her phone, like giving this "Why am I here?" look, and you see them doing the other TikTok behind them. It's
So
great.
you guys asked earlier and I didn't answer, and it's Kim full circle in this moment. What was my favorite part of World? That up, down, down prom that we were a
That was
witness
fun.
of.
I will
That
give
was
them that.
fucking great. And
That
Shayna
was
and Nikki Cross were hilarious.
Nikki Cross and
well, it was
very
funny
beautiful.
because Shayna and Nikki were funny, but then like Shayna or Nikki and Tegan were funny because like Tegan's like, no, don't touch me. Yes, the prom was fun. I enjoyed the prom. That was a fun part of the world.
I feel like we should have got dressed up for that too.
Well, had we known, we didn't know, man. Hell, we didn't even stay for the finish. I wanted to know who won, damn it.
I went back and watched it.
Who won?
What's his face's wife?
Did she? Damn
Candice
it!
LeRae.
Damn it! Poor
No,
Nikki
who
and
won?
Sonic. Poor
Who
Nikki and
won?
Sonic.
Who won Shayna versus Tyler? Because that's the one we didn't stick around for to watch, did we?
It was Tyler.
Was
Did
it
he?
Tyler?
That bastard.
She choked.
Hmm.
She got all the way to the
Can
end.
I just say how
She got all the
painful
way
it
to
was
the
watching
end
them play Sonic and
couldn't
not
get
know how to
past
do it?
Well, I think it was more along the lines of forgetting that it was Sonic 2, not Sonic 1. Because
They
Sonic
couldn't
1,
even
well,
go over the thing.
that's what I'm talking about. Sonic 1, you can't hold down and tap the A to launching. You can only do that in Sonic 2.
I just thought it was
Anyhow.
funny how Shayna just went.
Oh, with
Yeah,
Nikki?
That was funny.
Shayna puts the controller down for those at home that don't know if they didn't watch. Shayna puts the controller down and lets Nikki eliminate herself from the competition. It was hilarious to watch.
Great.
Nikki also chased down a live action Knuckles that was at World. That poor Knuckles should have ran
I
for
can't wait
cover.
to watch that.
Grayson says it's pretty good. He's watched. I think he's watched 5 episodes of it so far.
I think there's 6 episodes. I think I was watching it tomorrow with my kid.
Yeah, I think he hasn't watched the last episode.
That
yet.
was my favorite part of World. This has come full circle now. It's hilarious.
My favorite part of World was Ryan getting a tattoo, me posting about it, and then Ryan, AJ, did you fucking post it on Facebook? Sorry, language.
But yeah, we've kind of wrapped up a whole lot of things, except I've had
I mean, the immortal part was probably pretty cool for World for me. So,
dude, you were in like your own world there for 20 minutes, and I'm totally good with it.
So it was funny because just a quick story, and we'll get out of here.
We're not. I've got questions to ask, mother. I've been waiting.
All right,
You
fine.
said you forgot that.
I remembered.
So I had to work the other day, and I got a chance to talk to Budsco, and he asked me about other stuff. And he's like, "So, what was like for me, Hulk Hogan?" I said, "Want me to send you the video?" He's like, "Wait, you got a video?" I said, "TJ got a video of it." And I said, "He's like, so what was it like before I watched the video?" I said, "I can remember walking up to him, and I said the only things that came out of my mouth was what I said, and I told him, I said, I love you, brother." And I said it was like nobody had said that to him all day, and he just kind of dropped his shoulders. I said he slapped me, smack on my chest, I pretty hard. I said I love you too, brother.
Got a
And I said I
tattoo right
grabbed my,
now.
I said, I said I grabbed my belt.
That's the next one.
That was the questions they asked. Have you washed the shirt? When's your next chest tattoo? A couple other things.
Next
And
one?
I said,
Yeah, the Hulk Hogan hand on his chest.
yeah, when's your next tattoo? Um, and I said it's kind of funny because you watch the video. I said I don't even remember. Evidently, I'm holding the belt in a really weird way.
Dude, you're
I'm
like
just
this.
walking.
You're like,
And I'm just walking down the ramp, and I said, you could tell I'm in a different world. So he got
you were
to a
still
stop
at WWE World, but you weren't in WWE World at
So
that
he
moment.
got to his stop where he could look at it, and he's like, "Dude, you look like I've never seen that look on your face."
You have met
before."
God.
I said, I said, I. He's like, so what was it like after the fact? I said I took like 10, 15 minutes and had to like really like let it sink in that that happened. I said I had to have him a couple minutes when I was by myself for like just to get away, just to like sink in what had happened. And he's like, I kind of figured that was gonna happen. I said, I don't remember. I, to be honest with you, I don't remember anything either one of you said from the moment we got done with that part
Dude, we were just happy. We saw your
to
face, and me and
till
TJ
we were in
just
the
like,
middle of the
dude.
superstore. Is that where we went next? Was the superstore? Because like that's
I think that's where we went to distract you because you were just kind of wandering around
yeah. So
with the
it was
belt that
cool.
said Hulk Hogan.
It's still cool to me.
Are you gonna Drake
That's one
Maverick it?
thing. What?
Gonna Drake Maverick it after we won the 24/7 title?
Do you saw my belt? Does it look like it's gonna fit me?
No, but you could still be like, honey, I'm ready.
No. Actually, it hasn't moved. It hasn't moved from TJ's chair
You know, it looks good there. You should keep it
for
there.
about a week. I like how I have it set up there with my autographed Cody Rhodes weightlifting
And then the Bud
belt,
Light behind it.
and then no, that's a can of air.
Oh,
But yeah, like this has been sitting here like this. Actually, it's been sitting against the wall.
hey,
It's
I
like,
think
I
you
can't-
said
I-
something about holding on to
quite
it
like-
for a couple weeks. It's been a couple.
I said, yeah, I did say I was gonna hang on to it for a couple weeks.
Listen, first and foremost, I've been on eBay, and everything right now points that I made a really good purchase for $300.
I thought he was about to say he already bought another one just in case you don't send that.
No, but they're like $500 and up right now.
Yeah, that's how they work.
So right now, it's a good purchase.
All right, so let's get your questions done so we can get out of here because
Go to bed.
AJ Father Time up there wants to go to bed. You can tell his beard's starting to turn gray. He's starting to get old and decrepit.
Well, at least I'm not losing the beard like the rest of my.
His forehead has no shine to it.
There'd be some easy questions. Nothing major. Just wanted to pick your guys' brain. Outside of the Roman Cody Night 2 match, what was your favorite WrestleMania match?
From WrestleMania 40?
Correct. That we saw. You're the ladder match?
Even though I don't really like the SmackDown guys winning the title, I thought it had a lot of energy. It had a lot of okay, they're not gonna go through another one. Oh shit, he just went through another one. I had no clue who was gonna win, even though I picked one of the teams to win.
I've got two.
Oh, whoa.
Ooh,
You
I've
said
got
one.
two. I know, but I've got two, and I
the
can't.
guru always changes the rules.
Hey, Roddy Piper.
Rhea and Becky was really, really good.
That was mine.
And like I was captivated into that match from the moment of the entrance themes.
Motionless in
Like,
White with her was fucking great.
yeah, the both entrances was awesome, and the match was really good, especially since I later found out watching the actual show that Becky had a fever and strep throat and everything else.
102 fever,
It
and
was a great match.
she was only on antibiotics just enough to be non
Medically
infectious
clear.
anymore.
Um, the other one is not really. It wasn't a scheduled match. I love the cash in. I love the end of Rollins and Drew was fantastic. The the whole CM Punk interaction was amazing. And Damian cashing in and being the world champion was cool. Now it's time for Damian to prove that he deserves to be
So
the world.
AJ, I'll give you. You've done a night one match. How about night two? Because Fry's kind of covered both there.
a little part of me, I don't want to be the same exact as Brian on his second one. I really don't. Good one. But
Don't get me wrong. The tag team match from night one, the main event tag team match, is phenomenal. I love that
it
match.
plays very good on TV.
Dude, I don't like the whole culmination of that story. I almost forgot it happened. Like it felt like
That chapter has ended.
You know, not. I did like the triple threat for the U.S. title. I really did.
that was my night two
That
match.
again, that was a very good match. I
And
haven't gone like I still haven't watched night two yet.
I apologize for doing. I'm really sorry. The people that I know
Bitching.
okay, bitching about Logan Paul being in WWE about
We're looking at you, Rhonda.
because of who he is and everything else he's done and taking a place.
By the way, her name is Rhonda Beck.
I was gonna let you go there.
So I'm not gonna say it, but to the people that say that, he is earning his keep.
We all know what I
Very
would
much.
say, and let's just
Did
say it's a
you
Paul Heyman.
did you
quote.
happen did you happen to see what he did today? I think his gender reveal for his baby
Which
That's it.
again, congratulations.
is a wrestling match. He had a guy in a pink singlet and a blue singlet, and they wrestled a match. That's how he did his gender reveal, from what I just saw.
But seriously, I'm getting really sick and tired of the people. Oh, he's just here to further his brand. He's here, number one, because he loves it. Number two, it does further his brand even in a prime. But he's buying into WWE.
Dude, he's kicking ass.
And he's kicking ass.
Tell me a match he's had that's been bad. And I
He
don't
gets-
care how much
but he-
time they've spent on it. I
But
don't.
he gets all this free time to work on the match and gets to make it perfect.
And isn't that what you're supposed to do? Isn't that called being a perfectionist?
Hey Ryan, help me out with this one. If people bitch about how long it takes him to match and everything, are you a fan of Randy Savage?
Wait a minute. Are we complaining about somebody grinding to get a match right?
What was your next question?
Favorite of our side stories? Is it heel Ryan and the Eclipse and potentially getting us murdered in Philadelphia?
Or me almost
Okay,
having Ryan become a
let's-
speed
let's-
bump crossing the road?
Let's touch base on that. So Monday, we go see the stupid bell. Well, TJ goes and sees the stupid bell, and then we go to the world, and we went because we wanted to see Pat McAfee show. So we get done that, and it's like I think it was like 2 o'clock or something. It was before the eclipse occurred.
2:30, bluest sky I've ever seen in Philadelphia.
Yeah. So we walk a block down from the convention center to the Hard Rock Cafe and eat lunch. The
Do
whole
not
time we're
recommend.
eating lunch. Huh?
Do not recommend.
I didn't mind it.
Food
I
was
thought
good.
the food was.
I thought the food was good. How long did it take for us to get a drink?
Oh yeah,
This,
that
well,
part was a pain.
sometimes service is what it is.
It was
Still good food. So the whole time we're sitting here and eating, somebody has their eye on the door, like looking at to be able to see the sky. Like we're eating, and he goes, "It's getting kind of dark out there." And by the way, he came to the world with 3 pairs of these stupid glasses that only one of us
the bag.
wanted to
The
see.
bag. They made
That he had them in a paper bag that they're like, just take them out, take the contents out of your paper bag, put them in the Ziploc bag, and by the way, put the paper bag in the Ziploc bag. Still made no sense to either one of us. But anyhow,
Me
I
either.
digress. So
For the record,
Get
our
our-
mother was the one that made me take 3 pair.
we get our bill, okay, and
before I'm
literally
done
there's
paying,
like
TJ's gone.
there's like 2 minutes before the quote unquote time that the eclipse is gonna happen. TJ books it and runs outside. TJ, what was the
I
sky
did-
looking like? You looked outside.
Dude, all of Philadelphia was overcast, and I'm not the only one upset. There's a TikTok of Truth and Miz and their newly won titles going, what the heck?
So here's the best part. We have to walk back up towards World to
And the
turn to go
streets are
up our
lined with
block
people.
to our seat. The streets on both sides are lined with people, including NXT superstar Noam Dar and his partner. I can't remember what his name
And
is.
one of the girls.
And I'm literally walking past all of these people going, bah, bah. Look at all these sheep out here looking for this stupid eclipse. And you would have thought I was slapping water out of it. Like somebody dying of thirst, and I slapped the water out of their hands. Like, you imbeciles looking for this stupid eclipse that's not happening because the god said, fuck you, Philadelphia.
Ryan, you and I were both laughing our asses off.
Oh my god,
then
it
I
was
had-
hilarious.
There's that side story. There's me trying to buy a chair.
The only part of that was funny is when we when we went across the street.
What,
we're
and
just
I
trying to
didn't?
find the
Well,
TV.
because we got separated.
Yeah, the
And
separated
me-
was I saw another chair and went that way.
And me and AJ are standing there like, where the hell did he go?
So-
So like we're texting you, like, where are you at? And next thing you know, we just get a fucking picture of you with a chair standing at the car. It was like, what the
Well, to be fair, it's a picture of him, the chair, and a bunch of stuffed animals.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, because
They're in
somebody's a
your
little
back
fruity in the
window.
back window.
Stop. But no, you ever? All I did was picture when we were watching TJ go from one person like slowly like walking.
Remember the
up
old man?
behind. No,
Oh,
don't
that-
even bother looking.
The old man was great. The old man saw you from 30 yards away and was just like, don't even ask.
You know the meme where it's John Travolta with his coat over his arm. He's like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's what
from
Ryan and
Pulp
TJ
Fiction.
Ryan
But it
and
was-
myself were. Where the
It was hilarious because we're like standing in the middle of this and we're going, there goes the guy with the chair. There goes the guy with the chair. Where
Hey, there's a little kid with a chair. I go, no, don't go
There's
after
a
the
guy
little
with
kid.
a
I
with the
chair.
probably had asked all of them already, just so you know.
Don't follow
Anybody
the
that
little kid.
crossed that street, I asked.
No. This was when we were standing right outside of Link, where
Oh.
we were literally like we were standing at that light pole, and I'm
Dude,
going,
I kept
"There goes the guy with
trying.
the
Like,
chair."
people were like
There
zipping
goes
out of
the
there.
But like TJ would, the biggest thing was like we would find somebody, and before we could ask them, we'd be like, "Where'd TJ go?" Like, I'm not offering this guy money if I don't have the money on him. I'm not gonna say, "Hey, you want to sell that?" and then be like, "Hey, oh, by the way, TJ." So it was
We're
like-
waiting for a guy. He's got the money.
Yeah. So it was weird, but it was funny. I will give you that. And then the funnier part was you got it, and then you're like, "Oh yeah, Friday, you gotta take this home with you."
Well, somebody had to.
There it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
Can we get it headed north someday soon? I want my chair.
It might be this calendar.
I might get it. It might not head it north, but I can point it north.
One of these days, I'm going to show up randomly at your house and be like, "Can I have my chair now?" Oh no. Hopefully, I'm smart enough to bring my golf clubs because if I go down there just for the chair, I'm going to tell you to beat me with the golf club.
I'm gonna lock the door. I'm like, nobody's home.
Got to do the
Uh,
Home Alone Lost in New York thing. Give you the count of 5. Get your yellow ass out of here.
one of the other ones I had for
2,
you,
5.
Ryan. I think we might have touched on this earlier tonight. What was your favorite food at the Link and/or Wells Fargo Center?
I can tell you what my least experience with food was this whole.
No, we don't need to lose fans.
It has something to do with TJ and ketchup.
I'm never eating a bottle. I'm never squirting bottle out of a ketchup.
Oh,
out
I
of a
thought you were
bottle
talking
ever
about the
again.
Philly cheesesteak at World that I ate with ketchup.
That was just as disgusting.
That's where I was going with that. But I was Geno's.
Yeah, you had like an orgasmic experience with Geno's.
Was that when I disappeared and found Ric Flair?
No, yes, that well, we had it when he scarfed it down on the hood of his car.
That was the best steak I've ever had. Ever. And literally, Ryan gets in my car, opens up the first one, and I'm already getting in my car. Ryan's like, "Where is it?"
I went down the hole.
I had a roast pork sub from one of the places in there on night 1, and it was delicious. And the best part was it came with like a cup that had it had like cooked
We
hot
just become
peppers
the
in
Food
it.
Network.
No, but like it had a cup of hot peppers in it. And as fucking cold as it was outside, I enjoyed all of those hot peppers.
I got the Vincent one.
It's like a cocktail cost $22. These hot peppers came with my sandwich. I'm just gonna eat these hot peppers.
You know, I thought about getting like the liquor just because, like, hey, this might warm me up. I'm warm.
Can you imagine how much coffee Dunkin' Donuts sold on the night 1?
Oh my god!
At probably like $9.
One of those
cup.
places had a barbecue brisket sandwich that was really good, and then that Cuz's Pizza at the Wells Fargo Center was delicious.
TJ, every time we turned around, you had more.
Well, I got bored a couple times, and when I get bored, I want to eat.
And the funny thing is, TJ would get up, and I'm like, guy, because I was gonna move over to see. I keep looking back and see. I see him all the way at the top.
Oh, one of the times, yeah, I was standing there eating. I didn't feel like coming back and cramping in our seats.
Like just standing there, just watching what's going on in the ring. Is just.
But I mean, for us, I mean, we had 1, 2, at least 3 different cheesesteaks. We had Chicky Pete. Well, you got chicken the first night at Chicky Pete's. Yeah. By the way, if you're in Philadelphia and you've never had Chicky Pete's, I highly recommend it if you're headed to Philly.
Is that the place in World?
No. This was the DoorDash. This was the DoorDash Wednesday after.
They were at the Link. Chicky Pete's.
Yeah, they're at the Link too. But yeah, we DoorDashed it then after we went to Sam Roberts. Only because we drove by the Raising Cane's and couldn't figure out how to get back there. So
not gonna lie to you, when we went and found the ECW arena, I wasn't sure we were getting out of that trip alive. That would look like a rough part of Philadelphia, bro.
They ain't lying when they said it was they? Imagine being there pitch black or middle of the night.
That's at least if you're with the other wrestlers, you've got like an entourage.
Well, no, that's where I went for the Rumble that year to watch Bruce and Conrad's podcast show and Jake Roberts' show. Went there because one of the WrestleCon used to be at the 2300 Arena. Or one of those type con places, because when I got there for that show, Billy Gunn, Victoria, a very young rookie Brian Pillman Jr., Al Snow, Hornswoggle, and a couple other ones were still there at ECW Arena. I kind of wish we would have made it to at least one of those shows this week or that week of Mania. whether it be the GCW shows because they showed different shows all night. They even had shows at midnight. That would have been fun to go to.
I would have went.
Not like you were sleeping in the hotel room anyway.
Not with that fucking chainsaw next to me. Would I do it again? No.
Let's be honest.
Maybe at WrestleMania 50.
Am I gonna do it again? Yes.
By himself.
By myself. I'm thinking about doing SummerSlam in August.
I think next time we need to bring like a skinny person to sit between us. Then we'll be okay.
Or you just lose weight, fat ass. I
Hey,
this chair just
kettle,
fine.
pot, black, and AJ's kind of melted a little.
My seat was fine.
I was good at the link, other than AJ being like, half on top of us.
Dude, you have no idea what the other side of that situation was when you sat down. When you sat down, me and AJ had to figure out which order to sit down in to make it comfortable for me and AJ.
Like I said,
because it
next
wasn't
time we'll bring Richard.
It wasn't the fact that me and AJ were pushing against each other. It's the fact that you sat down, then you pushed against AJ, then pushed against me. So we had to figure out how me and him would sit down to be comfortable.
Like you got to sit down first, and then I can sit down.
Yeah. It was funny because at Link he could sit down first, and we'd be fine. When we got to Wells Fargo, I had to sit down first so he could get comfortable in the middle.
I just thought of something. AJ, you might actually have something. Maybe a lawsuit. We live in America here. Why are there no seats for Morbid?
Because it's 18 inches, bro. Fit your ass in it or get out.
I'm just saying, I've been on airline seats that were a little wider than that. Not much, but
well, yeah, that's because you buy 2 of them.
Dude,
no.
You flew down on a plane that was only 2 seats wide. What are you talking about?
No, it had 1 row of 1 and then a row of 2.
He's screwed.
Did they ask you? Did they ask you when the plane was ready to take off? Did they ask you to move all the way to the back on takeoff and all the way to the front on landing?
No, I was actually stationed over the wheels, but they did ask somebody at the front of that tiny plane to go sit at the back until we were in the air.
So basically, they saw you as like, we're gonna put him in where he's going at the wing.
Well, that's where I bought my seat, was at the wing.
Was you in the of the 2 rows of the 2 columns? Was you in the one closest to the aisle on takeoff, or was you in a window seat?
I sat in the 1 single row side.
So the one with 2 seats.
That matches up perfectly because they couldn't have been you sitting on the row with somebody to your right.
Mind you, I also specifically selected the seat with the emergency exit, thinking it would be bigger, and I was correct.
They saw you like the kid that gets on the school bus is like, oh fuck, he ain't sitting with me. Get over here and sit next to me so he can't.
And so everybody else knows too, at Wells Fargo, we managed to get lucky enough that we didn't actually have to sit on top of each other because people besides us weren't there. So we occupied some more space.
But it's a sellout.
Well, they sold the tickets. It's not their fault that people didn't show up.
That's true. I mean, the ones to our left that were there for SmackDown left for the Hall of Fame. And then they wasn't for Raw. I'm just kind of shocked they didn't show back up for Raw.
Maybe they do. But no,
Don't you wish we'd had the people from night 1 sitting behind us at night 2 of Mania instead of the final boss guy?
I was going to say, you say it one more fucking time and I'm keeping the chair.
He did say it one more time. That was it.
After the warning. After the warning.
So, yeah, I would definitely do it again.
The guys on night 1 were awesome.
But I don't want to get as close to Ryan as I ever
the coolest ones were the guys in front of us both nights of Mania, but they were right in front of us night 1. The older guy and his son-in-law. First, we talked to them for like an hour before the show started.
Oh yeah.
and then his other son-in-law and his two grandkids showed up.
I think that was
and
his actual son, not a son-in-law.
No,
The
no,
one
it
with
was
the
son-in-law,
kids.
but it was
No, the one
it
with the
was
kids, I think, was his son.
no, they were both son-in-laws.
Oh,
I had a conversation with him, and it was really really cool to experience that kind of thing, like literally 3 generations of family at WrestleMania, and like we had full blown conversations with them. We disagreed, but it was like you laughed it off with what you were talking about because you were just talking about wrestling. And
we all
the
agreed on
older
one thing: we don't like the Dallas Cowboys.
the older guy asked me to take a photo for him so they could take. I was the photo guy that
I was
weekend.
about to say.
I
Ryan,
took
the
a photo
photographer.
for them to have that memory. That was pretty cool. A shout out to them. Hopefully they followed along with us. We talked about the show long enough. It was funny because TJ and AJ both talked me up as the guru, and the
All
older guy
weekend.
wanted to. Well, no, I'm talking about the moment when we were talking, and the guy wanted to bring up something from like
1930.
yeah, and I was like, not exactly that, but okay.
Come forward in time a little bit. I can play this game.
So it was awesome, and then but I basically threw it right back at him when I talked about, U.S. Express Originals theme music was supposed to be real American, but
Did we want to
Um,
touch on how much money you guys spent down there? I mean, how much money is just
us,
sitting over
Us?
your right shoulder right now
What do
between you and I?
What do you mean by us? I'm the reason why Ryan was like, "Oh, they take card?
AJ, what is sitting on your title belt?
Only $100."
Only. And then you bought like $200 in merchandise.
yo, what is this? Telling on people? Shut the fuck up.
I just didn't know if we wanted to talk. I mean, how much money is sitting right there in
My
that chair
wife
over your right
fucking
shoulder?
watches this. You shut your whore mouth.
How much money is sitting right there over your right shoulder? I know it's at least
$900.
300 to start.
$900.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Well, no. If you take in the fact that $1,200, because the belt cost me $300 when I
You
bought
had the
it.
belt before. We won't charge you for the belt.
Yeah, but I bought the belt. I bought the belt for Mania.
Trying to
Uh,
get you off the hook, dog.
uh, the autograph session was 300. The Cody weightlifting belt that's autographed was 300, and then the chair that's in my
Wait,
possession.
you paid
cost
300 for that belt?
Hmm?
Dude, the day before they were 150.
Not the autographed ones.
I could have swore I went right by that thing while you were waiting in line for.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that would have been Monday too. No, that was Sunday.
It's 150 non autograph.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this one's autographed.
No, I know that whole thing was all that was like autographed. I could have swore that those were 150 on Sunday.
Yeah, and I love what Fanatec does, or Fanatics does. They have a sticker on it.
I
That
wish
has a
I had
number on
bought
it.
that pin set because I can't find one online right now.
Oh,
But how was I
Yeah.
gonna get a glass pin set home unless I sent
I
it with
think we-
Ryan?
I think we touched base on this last episode where Brian spent a shit ton of money.
Ryan
that he
enjoyed
probably should have
WrestleMania.
spent. Yeah, I spent way too much money. I'm
So-
still paying for it.
before we close up shop, this is it. We're at an hour 40.
Oh, we could fill another 20 minutes. Come on.
Pick an NXT superstar to get drafted on Monday.
Ilya. Not because I like him.
Yeah, I mean he TJ swung at the beach ball size baseball on that one. I'll give you one that's probably not thought of that would be pretty interesting to see get drafted, and that would be Brian Pillman Jr.
Think he's ready?
Sink or swim, kid.
What of the other guys that were in that really fun triple threat match? Dijak,
Neither one of them are ready for. Dijak will never see the main roster, unfortunately.
or
for
what was
AJ.
the other guy's name?
Josh Briggs. Josh Briggs isn't ready for. He just broke off from a tag team, so he's not.
Yeah, I know he was T-Bar, but he's good. Really is. Maybe he can't talk, but good.
Is he good or was Keith Lee that good? The matches that he's known for being really good in was his matches with Keith Lee.
Well, that match we watched at
Luke
NXT was
Harper.
fucking phenomenal.
I just don't see Dijak ever making it to main roster.
Which is fine because he's doing well in NXT. Hell, if Johnny had his way, he could have never gone.
Yeah, I mean, I could see. I mean, I could see Brian Pillman Jr., but I doubt it. It would be fun to see. I think him in NXT is gonna be fun. The other one that could happen that might be interesting is maybe. I kind of like this. I love this story on NXT, so I don't want it to happen. But Shawn Spears and Ridge Holland could both move up.
Would be it.
Brian froze again.
He'd have to relinquish the title. Brian froze again, or he's asleep.
No, he froze. You want the NXT Women's Champion to go?
I think you're less. There you go back.
We didn't hear a word you just said outside of
I didn't say anything. I don't like Roxanne Perez, so she could drop the belt for all I care. I think what you're gonna get is you're gonna get Ilya Dragunov,
I hate
and maybe
and
one female, and one female. You're gonna get 1 and 1. So
do we know the pool for Monday night? Does anybody have it offhand?
They don't showcase you guys. It just says.
No, but I mean, like, of the other superstars, do we know, is Punk in it?
Yes,
he is. Okay,
he'll stay on Raw because
I know. I didn't know, like, if we actually had, because some of these people with injuries, I'm like, Roman pulled out. Punk gonna be like, no.
Said Roman's hurt.
Roman wasn't hurt. He just pulled out of the draft. Because Heyman said Roman isn't sure when he's going to be back, so it's not fair for your tribal chief. Your tribal chief is trying to be fair to everyone, and that is why he removed himself from eligibility.
I'm sorry. We're going to be a little bit longer here. The one thing that stands out here as I look at this, I find it funny that when WWE guys get released and they're able to go do other stuff, wherever they go, they instantly become world champion or a champion.
Talk about Mustafa.
Well, I kind of forgot about Mustafa because
he's a champion.
Whatever.
Where,
but
wrestled in.
I just got an alert. Dolph Ziggler, or Nick Nemeth, is the new AAA Mega Heavyweight Champion, which is AAA's their Triple Mania show was tonight in Monterrey. What Triple Mania in Mexico is, it's 3 different shows. There's one now, there's one in July, and then I think there's one in August. They do 3 shows. He defeated Alberto El Patron.
Alberto he's not Del racing wrestling in front of 5 people anymore?
No. So just to give you guys is just a little bit on what Dolph Ziggler's done since he left the WWE. He is the IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion, which is what used to be their Intercontinental Champion. He recently fought Moose for the Impact the TNA World Heavyweight title, but lost. And now he's the AAA Mega Heavyweight Champion. How many guys do you see leave AEW and instantly become a top guy and a champion in other organizations? It's kind of the funnier thing where they talk about who's on whose level. It's kind of like they talk about, like, is AEW on WWE's level? Riddle leaves, becomes the IWGP Television Champion instantly. He's won a bunch of different independent championships since he's left. He looks like he's having a shitload of fun from what I saw him in person at. AEW guys look miserable. They're never the champion. They leave and go somewhere, and they go back to being the same card position they were for AEW. that tells you where WWE talent is and where AEW talent is.
Since you did
As
say the
far
word release, do we want to cover that now?
I'm not. It happens. If you're not getting, I don't understand why. I mean, I understand people's frustrations because how can you be a multi-million-dollar or billion-dollar conglomerate, but yet you're going to release people?
That's how you stay a multi-million-dollar
If
conglomerate.
you don't have,
But you're not. You're not doing anything. You're sitting there collecting a paycheck. If you're working for any company where you don't put out any effort but keep collecting a paycheck, you're going to get released. But it's not a bad thing. I don't understand that. That you see what these guys do when they get released. Matt
Cody
Cardona,
Rhodes. Cough.
Matt Cardona, Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, Nick Namath, the name of few. If you're really as good as what you think you are, you go out and you do what these guys are doing. If you don't think you're that, if you think you're that good and you realize you're not that good, then you need to fix something. If Matt Cardona can do independence and say he makes as much money as he made in the WWE, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like, I love it. I always say it because I love the line, but Bruce Pritchard says it best. And fuck Ronda Rousey. He says it's always okay to go get and he says it backwards, and I mean it this way. It's okay to go get a fresh paint of coat. Go learn a new hold. Go learn something. Build something. Make yourself better so that the WWE says, hey, we need to have this guy back.
So I know we all like Cody and everything. I'll use him and probably one of his best friends. When Cody left, what was he?
Told to rattle the cages.
Oh. He was Stardust. What is he now?
Mm-hmm. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare.
The American Nightmare. Completely different. Where did he get that? Not
Himself.
in WWE.
No. He was told by the new era leader to go rattle the cages.
I know AJ probably knows this because he listened to his podcast, but I knew this before the podcast. You realize Cody Rhodes is not the original American Nightmare.
No, it's his brother.
Dustin was the Nightmare Dustin Rhodes at the very end of WCW.
And Cody asked Dustin.
Cody asked him if he could take it, and Dustin said, sure, go make money with it.
That was after they tried to put him in that weird white face suit. Oh no! Hobbs!
He's found something. This is after the 7 gimmick. Yes, the whole poltergeist gimmick.
You know what I want to say right now, but it might cost me my chair.
Yeah, don't say it.
Whatever he's found, he will bring over here and show me eventually.
But same thing with,
like, here, where's my treat, fucker?
What was Matt Cardona when he left WWE?
Zack Ryder.
Now he's Matt Cardona. Zack Ryder is dead. Stardust is. Look at the shit they've done. Like, I wouldn't be surprised within. I'll give it 2 years. You'll see Matt Cardona in WWE. Because he's even said that's the goal.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. And I mean, I honestly think you'll see Gender and the rest of Indus, sure, I think is how you pronounce it, but the tag team, you're gonna see them on TNA. It makes 100% sense for them. It makes it 100%.
Gonna see Pennywise behind.
It makes sense for them. All right, we're getting delirious on the show. Let's get out of here. But it makes 100% sense that they're going to end up on TNA.
QR codes. The glitches. I forgot. I wanted to talk about it, and I just remembered. How long
you
before
can hold
you
it?
think how long do you think before we get it?
You can hold on until Tuesday, because if I don't work Tuesday, then we're going to be live on Tuesday, talking about the final night of the draft. What happened on Monday Night Raw? We're going to do a preview for Backlash. Go ahead, say it.
I didn't. Not me.
I didn't say
Not
it.
me.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Go ahead and say it, because the rule obtains from here on out.
I didn't say a word.
I can't wait to the day you forget.
It'd be the day that package arrives.
That, yeah, the day that the package arrives with a steel chair in it.
Here.
Say the package arrives with a
Here.
knife fork.
Not that chair, but a folding
No,
chair.
that one right there.
You
Wouldn't
could
that
get
be
a
fucked up?
You're gonna rate a regular folding chair, and you're gonna write.
Dude, you know how much I
Wrestling.
want to go on eBay and get its mate now? Like I want the night one
Yeah.
one. Like I didn't think I did, and now I do.
Do you
told
know how
you.
funny would be if I took a metal chair and put a WWE sticker on it, like a WrestleMania sticker, and just
As long
nail
as
it
the
to him?
day later I get the other one, then I won't care.
No, that doesn't make the bit work. You gotta wonder what the fuck. Or I pull those clips back so you can pull the cushion off of it, and I send it to him in pieces.
Don't go playing with my heart, dog.
All right, we're out of here. We will hopefully see you Tuesday live.
Or basically
Uh,
tomorrow.
Yes,
Watching this.
I basically kept it so that we didn't know if it didn't happen, it didn't happen, dickhead. But yeah, if it happens, it happens. But we'll try to get back on before Backlash. He's
That
showing
was
us
one of the
things from
QR
QR
codes
codes.
and the glitches.
But we'll preview Backlash. We'll give you our picks. It's a new season for our pick'em. So congratulations,
Congrats,
to
Sean.
on beating us.
Jesus,
Anyways.
fuck over. The fuck was that shit?
All right, all the cussing. We're out.
Bye.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm being like